Okay, we're recording. So, hi everybody. Welcome back to the Business Start. This is Chapreese Pennington. So I'm going to introduce her to you guys. For you who were just on a second ago, I started doing it. I had not hit record. So here we go. Chapreese is from New Hampshire. She has been in business for 12 and a half years. She went full time about 3 years ago after 15 years of social work. She's an advanced director. She's earned the Excellence in Sales 2 years in a row. And we're on our way to work for 3, right, girl?
Yes, yes.
And she's part of the product reveal last year in 2017. And she's on the new recruiting brochure. And I said she loves what she does, but absolutely hates to cook, which I think is hilarious because you do it all the time. And your motto is never, ever, 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 ever give up. And I'm sure there's probably a couple of extra evers in there. But so, you guys, I'm going to shut up and let Chapreese take it away. Girl, you're on.
Hey everyone, how are you? I am so excited to talk to you guys tonight. I want to say thank you to Michael for reaching out to me and asking me if I wouldn't mind coming on to talk to you about selling. So I'm going to get right into it and give you my 10 tips on selling and how to make it happen. Now, I am definitely not the one to claim it all, but I think I know a couple of things I want to share what I find works for me. And I'm hoping that something that I tell you will kind of resonate with you and go, aha. I promise you, I'm not going to say anything that you probably haven't already heard, but sometimes just hearing it from someone else on the right day at the right time when the moon is out and the stars are all aligned just might make you go, yes, now I get it. So for selling, and this is in no particular order, but let's start with top 10 products. I find that having your top 10 products that you absolutely love and cannot live without is going to be a great step with you when it comes to selling. Find them, use them, and become extremely familiar with them. If you're not using your products, you don't know how to use them, and you don't know what they're for, you're going to have a hard time selling them. I don't care how great you are. Doesn't matter how good you can talk. Doesn't matter what you can sell. You have to know what you're talking about so that people will entrust in you to want to buy from you. When you pick that one thing, always bring it with you and make certain that it's something on that high end. Find one product that is on the high end mark and master it. Mine is the double burner grill pan. It just stays in my car. It doesn't go anywhere. And if I have to do a show and I don't have anything else with me, that is always going to be my number one go-to. I don't care what I'm making. I always make something in that double burner grill pan, and never worry about the price. If you're not concerned about it, they won't be concerned about it. They're either going to book it or they're going to buy it. And either way, it's going to be great for you. The second one is telling a story. Make certain that you have something to share at your parties, either from another party, from something personal that ties into the product. One of the real reasons for that is people will remember that. Anytime you attach a story to something, people will not forget it. And if they remember it, then if they can't get it now, it's something they're going to remember that they're going to want for later. So make certain that you, even if it's something that it touches at the heart, but something that's a story related to it will always bring them right back. And then you're on their mind, which means the next time something comes up or they need something, your story and you will come right back to the forefront, and that's who they're going to reach out to. The third one is if they touch it, they will use it and they will buy it. I swear by this. I'm a station style show person myself. And that really is because I don't like to cook. I wish I could tell you it was because, oh, if they use it, they'll get it. It was truly because I had no desire to cook at my parties. And so I use that at all my shows. No one knows in the beginning that that's why they do all the cooking. I don't share that piece until afterwards. And that is part of my recruiting piece for someone else who's in the room who may not like to cook, who may not know how to cook, or have no desire to doing it. Now they see that I've done it and I've shown them a way that they don't have to actually touch any food in order for them to be able to do the job. But when they are actually using the product, then they know whether or not it's something that they want in their kitchen and if it's something that they really need. I am not in the habit of selling just for the sake of selling. I want my customers to purchase product and use them. I don't ever want to hear someone saying, oh, I have that. I've had it for 5 years and it's still in a box. It almost hurts my feelings when they say things like that. And I really try to get them out of thinking that that's okay. So things like the quick slice, the garlic press, anything that they're going to be able to get their hands on, let them use it. It's going to work magic. The fourth one is create a desire for it. Make them realize that if they don't have it, how they're going to be hurt without it. When you create that desire for customers and hosts to want to have our products, trust me, they're going to keep coming back for more. You have to set that stage. And the way you create that desire is by making certain that you show different ways to use products, different ideas for them. Show them that it's not just one way to use it, but multiple ways. Once they start to see that, then they're like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe that you could do something like that. That was probably one of the hardest parts for me because I am not a think out of the box person. I tend to find a product like the brownie pan. What did it say? It was the brownie pan. So what did I only make with it? Brownies. I would have never thought to do lasagnas and cornbreads and mini meatloafs until everyone else started doing it. And I'm going, oh my gosh, who would have known? So you really want to look at how can you make people want this and need it? And if you show them a solution to it and how it's going to benefit them in the long run, I guarantee you they're going to desire it and they're going to want it at some point in time. The other one is sell the steak and not the sizzle. Sell the sizzle, not the steak. That's what it is. I'm sorry. So you want to make certain that whatever it is that you're talking about, talk about what's going to make it helpful. Always offer a solution. We don't want you to just buy the double burner grill pan because we think it's great and because it looks nice. Yeah, we already know it looks nice. Everybody sees it and they're like, wow, that's a beautiful piece. But what about the piece is why you want to talk about? What about it? That it is a lifetime guarantee, that you can actually now use metal on it. When you show different things like that, now people are looking and they're going to see what makes it quality, what makes it worth that price tag, and why they absolutely have to have it. When you do that, once again, that creates that desire that goes back to what I just said, and they're going to want it, and they're going to book for it, or they're going to outright buy it. The sixth one is give the audience a chance to sell for you. You have to learn, quite frankly, to shut up at parties. You really do. I've gone to go watch others and all that. No one cares. No one cares about you. No one cares what you know. You need to know a little, and then you need to let everybody else know the rest. For instance, you've got someone who is at the party, you've got your crowd, and the first thing I always do is I hold up a product and I go, who has this? And I train all of my new consultants the same exact way for two reasons. One, a lot of them don't know the product and they don't really know what to say. And two, they don't always take out those cards to read it so they can figure out what to say. So this is an easy way for one, you to start learning about what other people have to say about it, and then what you can add to your next parties as you go along. So you hold up the product and you say, who has this? And then you always hear, oh, I got that, I got that, I got that. So my next question always is, do you use it? And I always say it in that tone. I don't want someone that has it and they don't use it. That's useless to me. Now what are you going to say? Now I'm back to ba 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 ba. So I need to find out who has it. I've got it, and you can tell based on how they respond whether they're using it, whether they like it or not. And you've got to learn to read people. This for me is not hard because I was a social worker and I did assessment. So I was always reading and knowing. So that person that's like, oh, I got that. Oh, great. You might be careful with that one, okay? Because they might have something that's coming out that maybe you don't want to come out. And it's not saying that people can't share how they really feel, but we also don't want those negative ones. I don't like that. Oh, you know, You know what I'm talking about. We want to avoid that. But the person that's like, oh my gosh, I have that. I use it all the time. Great, Mary. Can you tell me one thing that you use it for? And the reason why I say one is because if there are 4 other people in the room that has it, we want to give everybody an opportunity to speak on it. Even if they all say the same thing, now all the others that don't have it, they're hearing, wow, that really works for that. I need one of those. If Mary, Susie, and Kathy, and Margaret has one, I've got to have one because it's going to help me with all those other things that we just previously talked about. If you're letting them do the selling for you, you will never hear things like, you were very pushy, or I felt like you were always trying to get me to buy. Or if you tend to feel like that at parties, like, you know, ooh, I feel like I'm being too this or too that. If other people are talking about it for you, you're never going to feel like you're selling to anyone. And we don't ever want to feel like that. And if there is something that they don't mention about the product and it's useful, then you add it at the end. It's all right for you to add something. Let everyone else have a chance first. Ask yourself before you go to say something, is this really going to be helpful? Do they really need to hear it coming from me? And if it is, then go ahead. If it's not, then move it along and just go to your next product. Number 7. This kind of goes back again to knowing your product. How does it work? And more importantly, are there any little tricks to it? For instance, the microplane grater. When I first had that, I did not realize that when you push, it expands. I literally thought that there was a button on the handle that when you pushed it, that's what made it pull out. For years, that's exactly how I did it. Because I put my finger in there and I pulled and it moved. Well, one day I happened to be at a party and it was a guy who pointed out, see, when you look at this, it slides and it pulls. And I went, wait, what? And he looked like, you didn't know that? And I was like, no, I didn't. Now, one thing about me, I don't mind if I don't get embarrassed. I didn't feel like, oh my gosh. I went, oh my goodness. And I explained to everyone what I have been doing all this time. So here's where it goes. That's my story at every party now when I pull out the microplane grater. And I use it as 2 ways. I tell people the right way to open it. And then I go, if you forget, then remember there's a fake button right here. Push your finger on the button, pull it out, and then it opens up. Everyone's kind of like, ha, 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 ha. But now they're going to remember that. When they go to use it, if they can't get it right, they're going to remember, wait a minute. She said something about a button. What do I push? What do I press? And now it gets them going. But I've also taught them a little trick that will make them remember about how this can be. The other part with that too is making certain that you know, again, the different ways that you can use your products for multiple things. The quick slice is another one. Love the quick slice. Once again, when it first came out, I just thought once you slice. And then I was watching another consultant who said, and look, all you do is take the strips around and turn it and slice it again. Did she just dice in like a half of a second? I was like blown away. Like you had really, and I'm going, oh, who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? But I know I'm not the only one. And customers are amazed at that when I show that one tiny little trick. They are amazed and they're like, oh, I need a quick slice now. Now they need 2 and 3 quick slices. And I'm not kidding you. Okay? So number 8, give a tip or 2 with several products. Now I know I said give a tip, but you want to do more than one. Have like 4 products. Again, know them in and out and give a tip with each of the tools. I love the microplane grater because we always talk about, at least at my parties, cheese and how horrible the bag cheese is for you. That you really want to use cheese that's in the block, that's fresh, because it melts better, because you can freeze it, and because it's cheaper and it's healthier for you. A lot of people don't know that. So never assume that everyone knows, because now you're going to give someone a great tip and they're going to go, oh, I did not know that. Thank you so much. And when you're helpful, it helps to sell more. So one of my things that I tell everyone, as I go along with that is I say, one of the things I always want you guys to do is when you buy your block cheese, 15 minutes before you use it, put it in your freezer. And they're like, the freezer? The freezer? Even when I get to my host's house and we're going to use mozzarella, I give it to her in her hands. And I say, oh, can you put that in the freezer? And she goes, oh, you mean the refrigerator? And I go, no, the freezer. I said it the way I meant. She's like, really? And I go, don't worry, you'll see later. And she's like, okay. Now it's time, or he, that we take the cheese out. And I go, oh, can you grab the cheese out of the freezer? And the first thing they will say is, I thought you forgot about that. And then everyone's like, cheese in the freezer, cheese in the freezer. And I say, how often when you try to grate mozzarella, does it start to melt, especially when it's warm, when you're trying to grate it? And they're like, all the time. And I go, well, if you put it in the freezer 15 minutes or 20 minutes before you're going to use it, you're going to see how remarkable it is to grate. Now I've got proof. And now they're all paying attention. Okay? I've said what it is. I've set it up. And now I'm going to give someone else the cheese to grate. Because remember, they need to touch the product. And now they're going to show. And they're like, oh my goodness. Wow. It's the simplest and easiest thing. But you will have thought that I've taught them how to cure some type of disease just by putting the cheese in the freezer for 15 minutes. And now I am the woman, and they feel like they have been helped. And I'm like, yes, I have done it yet again. Ginger is another one. Put your ginger in the freezer. I used to waste ginger all the time. First of all, never knew you could go in the supermarket and just break off a piece of ginger. I always thought you had to buy the whole. I'm a rule follower, if you have not noticed. I follow the rules to a T. So I would never think to go inside the supermarket and just take a little piece off. I saw this woman do it one day and I was like, oh, I can't believe she did that. I can't believe she just took that little piece of ginger. And then I went, well, who said you can't? Why couldn't you? But I would still buy the whole piece. I'd only need about that much, and I'd buy about this big. Stick it in the fridge. It's 2 weeks later. Oh, yeah, I need a little ginger. And now my ginger is full of mold. What in the world? And then I realized, oh, my gosh, I can freeze my ginger. Well, one time I froze my ginger, and I took it out, and I went to use it with the microplane grater, and then even one time with the zester, and it went just like that. And I went, oh, who knew? This is the best! Because ginger can be a pain to try to grate. It comes off beautifully, freezes nicely, and now. So now you've added that to your party with another tip. You give 4 of the products that are on your table, display, whatever it is, adding a tip to each and every one of them. Trust you me, people are going to get it. The same thing with the microwave popcorn maker. Now, I don't know about you. I knew that at first I did not know about microwave popcorn, the bag stuff being bad for you. I really had no idea. I didn't eat a lot of popcorn like that, so it never made me any mind. And when I had it, it was every now and again. Till someone said, you know, that microwave popcorn is really bad for you. Have you ever noticed that even though we know things are bad, we still do them? Until we find out what the bad really is. So one day I said, well, I keep telling people that microwave popcorn has chemicals in it at my parties, but people still are like, oh yeah, the microwave popcorn maker is nice. Some bought it, but no one really bought into it. Then one day I said, well, what exactly are the chemicals in the microwave popcorn? And I looked them up. And when I read them, I was like, oh my God, whoa, oh my goodness. So I said, I'm going to try this new trick at my parties. So I bought the microwave popcorn maker and I said, hey, how many of you eat microwave popcorn out of the bag? Oh, yeah. And I go, And they go, we know, it's not good for you. And I go, I know. But do you know exactly what's in it? And then people got a little quiet. And I said, did you know that one of the first main ingredients is Teflon? And everyone's jaws dropped. And they said, what did you say? I said, Teflon. You know, the stuff in those pans that we don't want to eat? Yeah, that's in your popcorn. I said, your second main ingredient? Butane. Yeah, like the gas. People's faces were like, oh. See, it's different when they know what the chemical is. So if you know something isn't good, find out a little bit more what it is. Give it a real name that people will be able to remember and know, and that will be it. I started selling microwave popcorn makers like crazy. And then I added one little last bit. Oh, and by the way, research is starting to show it's causing a little ADHD in kids. And then it was done. Know things like that. Figure things out, and you do that, you're going to offer solutions, you're going to be giving tips, people will want to buy them. The next one for number 9, make a variety of prices. You've got to have a little bit of something for everyone. I had a really good friend of mine that one day said to me, why do you keep bringing that darn mini spatula to every party? Really, Chapreese? If they don't know what it looks like and know how it works, then too bad for them. And I was like, I can't bring the double burner grill pan. It's $250. He goes, bring it. You have to bring it. I will never forget that conversation. Once you get out of your own head about what anyone will or will not spend, then you don't have to worry because you're not selling to anyone. And if you're not selling to anyone, they're not going to feel like you're trying to make them buy anything. Therefore, they'll buy on their own. But you have to bring the products that are variety for everyone. So bring things. For me, I start with $25 or more. That's what I'm bringing to the party that will be on display. Anything else, I may keep in a bag and keep it in my car. We all know that some people want to see the citrus peeler. I just want to look at it. Do you have it with you? Seriously? You really want to look at a citrus peeler? We've all been there. So you know what? You accommodate. But I'm not going to have that out on my table and talking about the citrus peeler. That is a waste of my time. But anything that's $25 or more, I want it on my table. And I might have 2 items that are $25, 3 items that are $50, a couple of items that are a little bit more, but a nice variety for everyone. And if you're picking those products that will serve a purpose and a solution, trust me, they will buy. And then my last one is great recipes. You got to make some really great dishes. When you're making good recipes, one, they're going to use these products for that recipe. If they love the recipe, they're going to feel like they need the product. I'm the type of person where because I don't particularly care to cook, I want my cooking to be quick, easy, and fun. And that's what appealed to me with Pampered Chef. The products make it fun, and they make it a lot less complicated when I'm trying to do things. So if I am trying to make certain that I'm getting a recipe done right, then I need to have the right tools to do that. There are plenty of people like me at a party, and you want people like me at your parties because we're going to buy into everything you're saying. Oh, I can't use mine at home. It won't work as well. I need that. Oh, mine is kind of crappy. Yeah, I need that. Trust me, we're there. You just got to tell me and show me how it's going to help me and what it's going to do to make my life a lot better. Those are my 10 steps that have helped me with my selling and making certain that my party is going to be at least 650 or more higher when I'm going and I'm doing it. And a little part and piece of that is your hostess coaching. I never like to leave that out. But if you're bringing the right products, you're talking about them, you know what you're talking about, you give solutions, give some tips, give a variety, make certain that people are entertained when they're doing it, let them touch it and feel it and experience themselves, tell a story behind it so that they'll remember what it was all about, create that desire so that they know that even if they walk out of the party without it, they can't get it off their mind. Those are going to be the ways that you're going to have a fantastic selling season and you will sell anything and everything out of that catalog.
You are amazing. Thank you so much. I'm going to unmute everybody and give everybody a quick couple of minutes to ask questions.
Thank you.
Should be unmuted. And anybody have any questions? I know you guys are probably busy taking notes like crazy. All right, but you should be unmuted. So if you've done your own mute on your own, I can't unmute you, so make sure you do. All right, go for it. Don't all ask at once. I think they're all like floored.
About how many products do you take to each show?
All right. I always give full disclosure. I probably take more than what I'm supposed to. I am the one. I take 2 bags, 2 of the full bags. Yep, you heard me. I have my tool turnabout in the old case, and I always have my things. I don't care. I want people, I'm a person that I want to touch it. I want to touch it and I want to see it. What I have learned is that I have 2 of everything. Part of that is one of the reasons why I wanted to become a director. And the reason why I like 2 of everything, because I don't like taking stuff from my house to parties. I was getting so annoyed that now I got to come home, got to wash dishes, repack it. If I want to use it, I got to go to my car. Or I got to. That was too much. So free for all, fantastic. And being a director made it happen. And so I keep everything in my car. I have 2 of everything, and everything is packed very nicely in my car. And if someone says, oh, do you have blah, blah, blah? Yep, hold on. Let me go out to the car and get it.
I love that.
That's what I do. Because my director used to say to me, you're bringing too much. You take too much with you. And then they would always say, if people see you, you know, you've got so much, they're not going to want to do the job, blah, blah, blah. I've learned from me. I can't speak for anyone else. For me, it works. I make my hostess do my dishes too. I do not do a dish and I do not cook. I do every single dish.
Wow.
That's great. Anybody else? You got all stunned into silence, Chapreese. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us. I'm sure everyone's going to be going back over their notes, so we'll put some information out there for playback. And I just appreciate your time, and everybody else, you guys. She's amazing. I hope you did take your notes. Use it. Some of the stuff I've used, and Ivy learned some stuff tonight too. I love the whole the products that are actually in the popcorn. That is nasty, and I plan on using that. That is awful. But yeah, so use this, you guys. She knows what she's talking about. It'll help you get your fall going. And if you have any other questions, post on the group or go to your director or recruiter, and they will help you find your answers. So you guys have a great week, and do it to it. Thank you, doll.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me, everyone. I really do hope that you found it helpful. If you have any questions about anything later that comes up, feel free. You can friend me. You can send me a message. I'm around. I'm always willing to help. Not a problem at all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Everybody, good luck with this season.
Bye.
Bye.